We're looking at water coursing through the restored Whychus Creek channel alignment. We are in the downstream portion of Reach 3, which is the meadow section. I'm looking upstream right now. You can see lots of grasses and sedges and things filling the channel, and that's good to see. Those are things that we planted back in '09, and they took really well, and they're now helping to trap sediments as the couple of CFS flows through here. And then you go downstream around this bend to a log jam. We have log jams on all of the meander bends in the restored channel, and those are helping to provide bank stability, and they will be fabulous hiding cover for fish when the fish come in. And over time those will decay, and when that happens our plants will have matured substantially, and the plants we put in the ground will be able to stabilize the banks with their root systems. And I'll just pan over here and show you some of the plants that we planted right behind me. You can see that they're doing really well, getting nice and tall, just a couple years old. They really took off like gangbusters. We actually have around 98% survivorship of the almost 200,000 plants that we put in the ground in '09 and 2010, which is just phenomenal, well beyond any expectations. And that's exciting because those plants are going to really help hold the soils in place when we release the full flow of Whychus Creek into the restored channel. And they'll also, of course, provide great habitat, become mature riparian vegetation for songbirds and other critters. So we'll move a little further downstream and see what the restored channel looks like there. We are looking right now at water flowing through the restored Whychus Creek stream channel. We have about 2 CFS coming into a screened pipe at the upstream end of the property, and it is flowing about 1.5 miles downstream all the way to the end of this restored channel alignment. So it's very exciting. The water's making it all the way. We had temporary little mini plugs in here that we put in '09 to prevent the water from flowing directly all the way down. So we had these little bathtubs along the length where we could hold water and water plants that we had planted, almost 200,000 plants along the channel. And now those plugs have been removed in order to allow the water to flow freely. You can see that it's moving really slowly. There's a pool area and the water looks really still. And then here's a little riffle section. All the plants that you see, the grasses were planted. Those are going to help keep sediments in place. We are up in the meadow section right now in what we call Reach 3, and I'll move further downstream and show you what that looks like. This is the lower end of Reach 3, moving into Reach 4 soon. This is the restored channel. Look at that water flowing. This is only with about 2 CFS coming through a screened pipe at the upper end of the project. Just 2. We're going to have a lot more in here in the spring, but it's just so exciting to see this water flowing freely in the restored channel. The fish are going to love it. Great sound, isn't it? Water free to flow across its historic floodplain. Most beautiful music in the world. There are the Cascades in the background. And here we are in Reach 4 of the project area. And I just wanted to pan down and show how amazingly well these plants are doing. Thanks to Karen Allen and Clearwater Native Plant Nursery and Winter Creek Restoration, who gave us the most amazing plants. These are thriving, absolutely thriving. These were just tiny little plants when we stuck them in the ground. And look how tall they are. We actually transplanted a few of these when we were digging the side channels this past week, and some of the roots extended over 5 feet. It's just incredible. It's so awesome for holding these soils in place when the full force of Whychus Creek comes through this channel. It looks like the full force now, doesn't it? But it's only 2 CFS, not much compared to what will be in here in the spring. And you can see it's actually frozen over a little bit. It gets awfully cold out here at night in this meadow. Looking downstream. I'm going to go down a little bit farther to where some of the side channels are. Okay, so here we are just a tiny bit downstream from where I just was. We're in Reach 4, and here is the start of a newly excavated side channel, and we already have a little bit of water. So again, this is only about 2 CFS that is coming through the pipe at the upper end of this project area, and just with that 2 CFS we have some water trickling into this newly carved side channel. So this is not the main channel you're looking at, this is a side channel. It's maybe 2 to 3 feet deep and about that same distance in width, and the crew was scattering whole trees across the floodplain and within the side channel. So that's what you're seeing there in the foreground, and that channel meanders over in that direction and then back over in that direction, and it's not connected to anything right now. It dead ends at the current restoration access road, and that will all be ripped in March, and then we can continue the side channel a little bit farther. These piles, I don't know if you can see it very well, but that long skinny mound of dirt, that was soil excavated in 2009 when we were getting the floodplain to the proper elevation, and all of that will become plug material in the existing channel in March. There's another pile down there. Exciting to see water in the side channel at 2 CFS. Amazing rearing habitat there. And then that is the main restored channel. Let's go connect with it further downstream. So this is just a little further downstream in Reach 4, and I just wanted to pan in one more time on this vegetation. This was put in the ground 2 years ago. 2 years, that's all. And it's amazing. This stuff in some places is towering over my head. I'm 5'8". So we've got some vegetation out here that's 2 years old and that's 6 feet tall. So just imagine 10 years from now what this riparian system is going to look like. This stream corridor is going to be incredible. The birds are going to love it. Fortunately, we've been collecting data on the birds at Camp Polk for 10, 11 years now, and so we have an incredible database and a wonderful volunteer, Eva Eagle, who takes care of that database for us and collects all the survey data, and lots of wonderful bird surveyors that come out to the property year-round. And so far we've documented a little over 150 species just on this 145-acre preserve, and we just can't wait to see what happens once the full force of Whychus Creek is put into that restored stream channel. Birding paradise. Still further downstream here in Reach 4, you can hear the water burbling. We go around to Meander Bend and the Log Jam Complex. Downstream and out to the aspens. And around the bend there in front of the aspens, and then actually through the carved channel in the aspens there on the outer periphery of that grove. we'll go down there and see what it looks like. Here we are at the lower end of the meadow, the aspen stand, and here is the restored channel. Going around the meander bend there and through a tunnel of aspen, and you sort of lose track of the water there because the grasses and sedges that were planted are really thick, and that's great. I'm going to pan around here and you'll see some of the materials that are staged for March. Got a lot of whole trees, over 700 entire trees with root wads intact were hauled onto the property just in October, salvaged from other sites where they were being thinned. And those, as well as all of this soil mounded up here, will be used to plug the existing channel, create sort of a wetlandish area over there, and some of them will be used in the floodplain as well. Here we are at the end of the project area. Just down in that direction is the end plug, and this past week the crews came in and put in some what they call faux beaver dams, and I'll show you that in just a second. But we've had a lot of beaver activity in here over the past many years, and a lot of very recent evidence, and they are loving this area. And our hope is that they really thrive in here, and we're actually hoping that they mess around with the water a little bit, creating some dams and blockages and getting the water to ribbon out back into the existing channel alignment in small sections, sort of in a ribboning kind of way. And I keep thinking every time I come out here that I'm going to get to see one of the beavers, but haven't been that lucky. I sure do see lots of sign of them. I'll show you some of that in just a minute. Okay, so here is the existing alignment and flow of Whychus Creek at the very end of the project area. And here is the restored channel and where it dead ends. And that is what we call the end plug, and it's had a lot of beaver activity over the past couple years. You can see not any super recent sign of it, but you can see where they've been whittling away on wood and bringing it over to build up the dam. Let's see if I can walk through without sinking down here. So here I'm on this, standing on the end plug, and you can see water is flowing out of the restored channel and into the existing Whychus Creek. So at the end of February, beginning of March, we'll pull out this end plug and plug up the existing channel and salvage all the fish in the existing channel and bring them over to the restored channel, and then we will be rocking and rolling. It's hard to get a good shot of the restored channel here because the vegetation is so dense. And honestly, that's the best problem you could possibly have. So I'm not going to complain about it. But here is the channel, and this area has been charged with water ever since we excavated it. The groundwater in here is really high, and the beaver have been very active in here. And just this past week, the Partney construction crews brought in a bunch of downed wood and crisscrossed it across the channel to encourage the beavers to do some more activity in here. So hopefully they'll move upstream a little bit from their end plug hideout and play in this area here. They certainly have a lot of wood to work with all the aspen nearby. But we'll see what they decide to do in here. Hopefully one of the times I come out to visit, I'll actually catch them in action. I've been trying for a few years, and so far they've been pretty secretive. But now we're looking up into the aspen grove. It's hard to see in this light, but I've seen a lot of recent evidence in that aspen stand of their presence, whittling away and knocking over trees. So we'll see what they do. This is beaver heaven in here. Well, since I was just talking about recent beaver activity, I thought I would show this to you. This is pretty awesome. It's on the outskirts of the aspen stand, and the beaver have just been going crazy on that down log that they cut down. I'm not sure if you can see it, but hopefully you can see the stump there with a pointed top. That is definitive sign of beaver. And I can't get all the way over there now because of the water flow in the restored channel, which is great. In fact, you probably shouldn't try this at home. I'm standing in the middle of a log jam / beaver dam. I'll show you what's down below me right there. Some water. Here's my foot. It's like somebody was playing pickup sticks and forgot to clean up. But this is a great way to see this isn't just a typical log jam. This is sort of, like I said, log jam / beaver dam. We want the beavers to come in here and play. But these pieces of wood are just crisscross. It looks very haphazard, which is what the engineers and construction crew were going for. But it's anything but haphazard. Very precisely constructed. And I'll just take you upstream here, looking through the aspen corridor. And around to the other side of the log pile. So wish me luck. I'm going to use my balance beam skills to get out of here.